and that legend is none other than Sue Bird. So, for over 2 decades, I believe, Sue Bird did not just play for Seattle. She became Seattle. She became one with the city, and she was beloved by just about everybody in the Pacific Northwest. And now, Seattle is making sure that no one ever forgets the name Sue Bird. So, in August, the Seattle Storm will unveil the first ever statue dedicated to a WNBA player. Sue Bird's statue will be put out front, right outside of Climate Pledge Arena, the house that, in a lot of ways, her legacy helped to build. And I think this is pretty awesome, and I want to talk about it. So let's put this in perspective, guys. No franchise, as I said earlier, no franchise in the WNBA, not one, has ever immortalized a player with the statue. Now we have seen colleges do that, right? Most notably, y'all remember Asia Wilson has a statue for South Carolina. Caitlin Clark is going to have a statue for Iowa. And so that's a thing. That's a thing now in college, right? But it's not a thing in the WNBA. Now, that's partially because the WNBA is still a very young league, but still, this is a pretty big deal. Sue Bird has spent her entire WNBA career with the Seattle Storm, and she's still connected with this team still to this day. And I just got to say, guys, when awesome stuff happens, it's important for us to celebrate it. It's important for us to highlight it. It's important for us to talk about it because when we talk about a player like a Sue Bird, right, someone who was drafted number 1 to the Seattle Storm in 2022, or not 2022, 2002, right? She became a 13-time WNBA All-Star. With the Seattle Storm, Sue Bird won 4 championships, right? And after she retired, she joined the Seattle Storm ownership group, right? She's done a lot with the Seattle Storm, so it makes sense, right? It makes sense, and so they're not just making her a statue because of the championships, right? It's not just because of the records, though she left a whole bunch of records with Seattle, all-time leader in assists, a whole bunch of other stuff. It's because the Seattle Storm and Sue Bird helped to give Seattle a basketball outlet after the Supersonics left, right? She was the face of the Seattle Storm for years, right? And so when it was like, oh, basketball's leaving Seattle, no, it wasn't. It wasn't leaving Seattle, even though the Seattle Supersonics left, because Sue Bird was still there, still rocking and rolling. Of course, still had a lot of talent. It wasn't like Sue Bird did everything on her own. She did not. She had Lauren Jackson with her, which is a player who's severely underrated. She had Brianna Stewart with her. She had Jewel Lloyd with her. So she didn't do it all by herself. However, she really was that steady force, that steady leader for this Seattle Storm team. And so, yeah, I think it's awesome. I think she helped to give Seattle a continuous basketball outlet, and she made the league a whole lot better. So, yeah, that's what's happening. The unveiling takes place on August the 17th. At Climate Pledge Arena. It's going to be a whole day of celebration, and so it's going to be a fan fest as well. And they're going to have a Forever Sue game that evening, and the first 7,500 fans will get a Sue Bird art print, and so that's going to be pretty cool as well. I wish I was actually off that day, or I wish I was off that day and I could actually make the trip down there to actually see it in person. But it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited about it. If y'all live in the Pacific Northwest, absolutely go to that game. Check it out. But yeah, this statue is really cool. But, it's not just for Sue. It's for a reminder, a physical reminder of the power of women's basketball. And that, hey, if you dream it, it just might happen. If you dream it, if you put the work into it, it just might happen. So yeah, shout out to Sue Bird. Shout out to the amazing legacy that she has had. Again, let's go down the list. 13 All-Star nominations, right? 5 Olympic gold medals, 5. 4 WNBA championships. She's in the Hall of Fame. But her leadership that she gave to Seattle every single time she walked on the court, every single time she walked in the locker room, that is something that she's defined by, right? I've heard countless of WNBA players talk about Sue Bird as a person and how great she is and how much she cared and all that good stuff. And so it really is cool to see that in the future, every player, or every person, I should say, that walks past Climate Pledge Arena will see Sue Bird there, standing, or I don't know exactly what pose she's going to be in for the statue, but you're going to see her there, and people are going to be reminded of the power of women's basketball and of the impact that Sue Bird has had. So shout out to Sue Bird. I just want to talk about it real quick and make that a thing. So again, that is it. That's that segment. I also want to before we leave, I also want to remind you guys of the games that are happening today, and so that's what we're gonna end on. So later today, we will see a boatload, a bevy of games. A bevy, I haven't said that word in a long time. We're gonna see a lot of games happening later today. So I just want to go through them real quick. We have the Las Vegas Aces versus the Indiana Fever. That game is happening at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We have, at the same time, we have the LA Sparks versus the New York Liberty as well. That game is happening at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We have 30 minutes after that game starts, we have another game starting at 7:30 Eastern time. We have the Seattle Storm versus the Atlanta Dream. At 8 p.m. Eastern time, we have the Phoenix Mercury versus the Dallas Wings. And then also at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we have the Washington Mystics versus the Minnesota Lynx. A whole bunch of games all at the same time. Now, some of y'all may be frustrated about that and saying, you know what, why are these games at the same time? Shouldn't they be at different times? Here's the deal. The WNBA has to cram a bunch of games in a small period of time. Because we had the Commissioner's Cup, and because the WNBA had no idea who's going to be playing in the Commissioner's Cup, because again, it's determined during the season. Because of that, they had to have a buffer period between regular games and Commissioner's Cup, which is why usually there's no games on Monday. So that's why there was no game on Monday. There was no game we ended up seeing the All-Star game or the Commissioner's Cup game, and then no game, and now we have games today. Does that make sense? There had to be like a little buffer for the Commissioner's Cup, so that way whoever ended up making it at least had a day of rest before and a day of rest after. So that's why we've had several days of no regular season games. And so yeah. All right, so which games are you all watching? I'm very much curious about it. Also, I will be watching all those games at the same time. A fun fact to know is that the Indiana versus Vegas game is going to be on Amazon Prime, while the other games will be available on WNBA League Pass. Okay, so you may have to use 2 devices. One device has Amazon Prime, and then the other games will be later. Now, here's the thing. Here's the excuse of the WNBA having games today is because, again, you have the Commissioner's Cup. But the WNBA, even with that being said, they still got some improvement they need to do when it comes to scheduling, because tomorrow, how many games do we have on Friday? 0 games on Friday, right? And so there's a whole bunch of stuff with scheduling that still needs to get worked out, and hopefully that helps. Hopefully next year they're able to get that all figured out. But yeah, all right. That is the stream, guys. That is the stream. I'm very much curious to hear what you all have to say. Con Lenny says, congratulations on getting media press credentials. Hopefully you will get one next year for next year's All-Star game, which could be in New York, Los Angeles, Dallas, Atlanta, or Connecticut. I don't think it's going to be in Connecticut. I think that's one team that it for sure will not be in. I could see it being at Golden State. I could absolutely see it being at Golden State. Or in Toronto, because the Toronto Tempo will be a brand new team. Like I could see that being a thing as well. But yeah, I'm hoping that yes, I will be hopefully, fingers crossed, that I will be at next year's All-Star game, and hopefully, maybe this year's WNBA playoff games and finals as well. All right. Again, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. If y'all could make sure to hit that like button, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, guys. I make content all about women's basketball. So if that is your thing, if that is your interest, make sure to subscribe to the channel, guys. I will be live tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow is the 4th of July. However, there's a bunch of games happening today, and I got to go live to talk about them. Talk about them tomorrow. I'll give you all recaps, talk about what's going on. Maybe we'll get into some CBA stuff, which there's a lot of stuff about the CBA that we need to talk about. But yeah, so we will be live tomorrow. So make sure to stay with the channel. If y'all could, make sure to share this with people. The only reason why I even got approved to be credentialed is because you all support this channel. That's the only reason why. And this channel growing is great just for visibility of like what we're doing and how we're doing it. And how we just go about stuff. So like, please make sure to share this with people. Tell people like, hey, if you want to know what's going on in women's basketball, if you want to just know the real of what's happening and want real coverage of just about everybody, well, check out Quita Loves Sports. Check out Quita in the mornings, So again, thank you, guys. I will see y'all in the morning tomorrow, guys. Have a great day. Have a fantastic day. If no one has told you, you matter, let me tell you. You matter. You are important, and I'm very much happy that you are on this earth, guys. I was about to end the stream, but we do have a super chat. Thank you so much to Hyken for the super chat. Says, congrats on the credentials. Just joined the stream. Well, thank you for your support. Truly, thank you for your support. Thank you all for your support of this channel. Like, I don't know. I've just been very, in a mood of gratefulness, and I really do appreciate you all for rocking out with me and just your support. We are elevating this channel. We are elevating this show into a legit thing, and let's do it together. So thank you all so much, and y'all have a great rest of your day. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.